Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Well, I guess we're going live this way because our intro didn't load.
Are we live?
We're live. Yeah,
we're live. I heard the intro.
Did you?
I
had
hear
the
the intro.
countdown.
I saw our intro, so everybody else did, but I didn't get to come in the way I was telling you guys I was gonna open the show.
Do you want to try it again? See if it works.
Let's try it again.
We're doing it live. Here we go.
Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
This is the search that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. Kobe started searching, not knowing what he'd find, and we'll just keep on questioning forever just because this is the search that never... You guys get the point of the title of our show here tonight. Yes, this is the voice of the land. I'm back finally. I'm on the show, guys. I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Well, who are you?
I don't know. I never know who I am. But this is the Voice Land with Big Play and, of course, partnered with LPD Productions on the Be On Air Podcast Network. We thank our friends at Vector Technical. They'll get the right person in the right job the first time. Guys, we need to start with this whole coaching thing in town. Like, I know that we were going to talk about it tonight, but we're going to open the show because there's reports all over the place. I don't know when this search is ever going to end. I don't know if the Lakers' decision now that Dan Hurley turned them down will change things for the Cavaliers or make the Cavs speed up their process if they have a guy that the Lakers also have in mind as their next top candidates and they need to get him. But according to Yahoo Sports, James Borrego, Kenny Atkinson, and Micah Nori are right now the three finalists that are expected. Of course, Borrego has been reported he has been in town. Atkinson and Nori will have interviews in person later this week. But Yahoo also added in their article, Jay, that the Cavs are still doing Zoom interviews. So when will this end? We've heard Borrego is the top candidate, but there was also a report today that Borrego is the top candidate, top of the list for the Lakers too. Make sense of all this. Like, are you just like they said that they were going to take their time, Jay, but it feels like I'm over it at this point.
Kevin, I was over it before it began. I don't care. Like, this is horrible for sports talk radio, but like, I just don't care who the Cavs hire. I don't even know who any of these people are. People like are saying like this guy's an offensive guy, this guy's this kind of guy. I just want the guy who's best for the Cavs. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't know. The players just got to buy into whatever system's coming in, and hopefully it's a good offensive system. Like, I don't know. I think it's a big deal about nothing. They're going to hire him when they hire him, and everyone's going to be like, oh, finally. Like, it was going to happen eventually. They're not going to not hire someone before the season starts.
Do you think it's a big deal that Kobe Altman has, from all accounts, from what he said in his postseason after the season ended press conferences, he always does it, especially after they let go of JB Bickerstaff. He's been saying that they want to keep the core four together, and it's reported that he's telling coaching candidates that. So I guess he's asking them what their plan would be for this core four. Like, how can you get more out of them than JB was able to when they were actually all available and on the floor together? Do you think it's a big deal if the Cavs are serious in the fact that they want to keep all four of these main guys together?
I don't believe him. Not one bit. Like, I mean, does he want to? Sure, but is it like it's nothing set in stone? Like, every day is a different day. Basketball is a very fluid situation. That's just how it's always been. And if he says, "Oh, I want to trade these guys," you're just lowering the value of them. So why would he say that? You know how I am with GM talk. It's a bunch of nothing. They just lie and say nothing, Kevin. They say a bunch of stuff without saying anything.
I know, and we went through that with the Browns saying that Baker Mayfield was their guy, and then we turn around 2 months later and we're hearing that Deshaun Watson is coming to town and being traded for because they found a better option. See, I don't know that there's a better option for the Cavs, and I hate saying that I want to see the core four. I want to see a couple of them go. Like, I don't actually want to see them leave town or leave this team. I just know that this whole, and it goes much deeper than this, but Brian Windhorst of ESPN and so many other people have said, like, this 1-3-1 or 1 point guard, 1 center, 3 shooters, 3 guys that can spread the floor. Like, that kind of lineup seemed to work best for the Cavs when Donovan Mitchell was out there and guys were hurt this year, especially Darius and Evan. The way that this would work is what we talked about originally, what we started seeing when these guys came back. I don't know how it came to my mind and these things came to fruition. I'll never take credit for ever being right because I'm just lucky sometimes. But it would need to be a rotation of Donovan with one of the centers and Darius with the other. Because it's too similar with Darius and Donovan. It's too similar with Evan not progressing as an outside shooter or even like a jump shot. He's
not a power forward. He's a center. They're both right, centers.
It's too similar between those two. So you would need to have a set of those, like 2 of them come off the bench and have your second unit led by that next group. These guys are not bench players, though. They're at a point in their career where they're not going to accept that.
And that's why one of the big things that we have to wait for is if Donovan Mitchell signs. Mitchell signs an extension, we can anticipate, and it's probably going to happen, is Darius Garland's going to want to get traded. Not because they don't like each other, because they do like each other. They like each other a lot. But he knows that he's not going to get the points that he needs for that next max contract. Because I've heard Brian Windhorst explain it, how that first contract, the first max is that, happy-go-lucky, I'm getting it probably no matter what. It's the second one that is the stressful one you got to get because you're a little older in your age and you want a team to, like, invest 5 years, 4 years into you with a lot of money. And he's not going to get that if he's playing here and he's only his point average goes down, his assists go down because the ball has to go to Donovan Mitchell because he's just the better player and he's going to demand the ball more.
Yeah, he's definitely the better player. Now, I know everybody likes to go to the fact that Darius, like, they just go straight to Darius sucked this year. Was Darius anywhere near the level that we expect him to be? Don't even look at the contract because now we're talking, like, once you do that, like, you're trying to get in people's pockets. Like, he took advantage of an offer that came to him. Like, why wouldn't you, to set up your future? He was offered a max contract. He was playing at that level at that time. Things changed. Now, this isn't an excuse for him. He didn't play up to his standard. But I still saw a guy that was getting other people involved, playing more of a truer point guard position. I think he sees himself more as the scorer that Donovan is as well. And these guys are smart enough to know, yeah, we don't hate each other. We loved working together. It's not fitting together because we're trying to do the same thing at the same time and we're hurting what this team is trying to do. So maybe it is better. Donovan signs. Maybe if I'm Darius, maybe I'm saying, look, let me go to a situation where I'm that Donovan player and see if I can see if the team will help get some other pieces around me. Let me see if I can go lead a team like that. Not because I want to leave Cleveland. I hate Donovan Mitchell. I don't like my team. I don't like my teammates. Don't like the organization. I feel like it's the exact opposite of that. And it's for the betterment of, it's a thought process of betterment for the player and the team. Even though if he does go to a different team, he's going to want to beat the Cavs every time they match up. And he's going to want to have the team that wins the championship. He's still kind of helping Cleveland on his way out, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry, trying to fight off a yawn right there, right when you asked me that. I totally agree. And the same thing with Allen and Mobley. They're very, very, very similar. So It's all going to matter what people offer the Cavs and what comes their way. If they don't get they're not going to sell low. They're going to be like, no, we're just rolling it back. That's fine. Then I'll roll with it. And I hope the coach implies an offense that helps better with his team, and maybe a rotation that's better, and get a couple more bench players that fit this team. And who knows? I just try to react more. I'm more of a when stuff happens kind of guy. And right now we're in like this standpoint, and it just everyone's waiting for something to happen, and nothing's happening.
Teams are taking their time. They're going through it. I mean, the Lakers are only in the same boat as we are because they pushed all their chips into the middle of the table for Dan Hurley, and whether you used it as a negotiating tactic with Connecticut to try to become the highest paid NCAA coach out there, like that's going to happen. Whether that happens right now or in a couple weeks or whatever, you've won 2 straight. You have recruits and a team that's returning that gives you a chance to win 3 straight. Like there was no way LeBron wasn't going to leave Miami when he did if they were coming off of a championship. You're going to try to defend that championship. The fact that Miami lost his last year in Miami opened up his mind to start thinking about going elsewhere again or coming back home as he did. Dan Hurley wasn't going to leave Connecticut with everything that he's got going there and trying to go for a three-peat. If you're a champion, you're a winner, like that's what you want to go for. So now, and I'm going to knock on wood right next to me in this room before I say this, my fear is the Cavs they've gone from confident to cocky about Donovan Mitchell re-signing. I'm not saying that I think he's not going to or anything like that. I just feel like they're operating on the assumption that he's already going to sign. And maybe he has told them, like, once we can actually open up discussions when it's legal to do so, yes, I plan to, my thought process, my dedication is here. Like, I'm not looking to go elsewhere or thinking, like, I'm only giving this one more year and then, you're not going to get anything for me if you don't trade me type thing. I don't know. I just have this weird feeling, Jay, that they're operating as if they're so cocky that he's coming back when we don't know. And
here's the question: How do you operate? Do you operate thinking he's leaving? They probably have contentious plans for every situation that's going to happen. That's my thought. But if you're a team and you want to be, your positive thinking is he's going to resign here. We're going to give him what he wants. We got a good team. This is the best place for him. I would agree. I think that he's going to sign back with us too. There's so many. The point, that position, like everyone's like, oh, he's going to go to New York. But well, guess what? Jalen Brunson's like, no, he's not. I'm the man here. So what are they going to create the same situation that they have here at the Cavs and have two of the same players playing the same spot? So I know what you're saying, Kevin, but at the same time, I see how why the Cavs are doing it too.
Well, yeah, and I mean, do I want them to operate as if, with all of this stuff to give Donovan what he wants, to like convince him to sign that extension? Absolutely. We don't know. We're not privy to what these coaching candidates are telling the front office. I know that Borrego and Atkinson have experience and have a decent track record as a head coach. Borrego, had the Charlotte Hornets on an upward trajectory, and his best record the year like that off season, they fire him. I don't know why. That's the Charlotte Hornets. That's their decision. But I still don't know much about these guys. Like, these names don't do much for me. Like, it's not like I'm negative towards them, but I'm not upwardly excited because it's not like some big name out there. The Lakers went big name hunting someone that came way out of left field and probably was never going there from the beginning and probably was doing a negotiating tactic in Dan Hurley. And they couldn't get him, the Lakers, like, they think that they're prestigious, and yes,
they're not anymore.
They're not. They're not. And LeBron doesn't have many years left. He's only got a couple at best. And if you're trying to appease LeBron, he's not the main piece to a championship anymore. He can definitely, turn into that as the playoffs go on, and he has that kind of experience to flip that switch if he's healthy enough. But he's not going to be around. Like the Lakers, if they really want sustained success, you gotta find a way to think about winning now and moving forward. Like you got to balance both of those. It's not an easy job to do. But
and then the guy who's supposed to be the superstar to help sustain the success is
never available.
Yeah, he's always hurt. So, yeah, good luck. Not to mention, no one really talks about just the tax dollars, dude. Like California, you ain't making nowhere near you're going to make in Ohio. On top of the fact that our team has more money than the Lakers do. So that's why I said I'm not worried. Why the rush for the coaching hire? Who's going to outbid us? The Lakers? They can't.
And I don't care if people, they hear someone say nationally or us locally that the Cavs is more of an intriguing job for people to take than the Lakers. Like, I don't care if they stick their nose up at it. Like, those are people that are still on this belief that the Lakers are some, mountain you have to overcome, some prestigious thing. Like, they have a prestigious history, but they haven't done much, especially with LeBron there. And I'm not blaming LeBron because I'm a fan of his, so I will, probably be biased here. But LeBron is somehow doing all that he is doing, setting all these records, 21 years in the league. It's not enough anymore with all these teams that have built through the draft and built strong, their own version of a super team. LeBron can't do it by himself, and he's not getting any help. Like, the Lakers have tied their hands behind their back, like just trying to piece something together because they spent all this money and thinking that Anthony Davis was going to be the answer. And again, he's never available. He's always hurt. So the Cavs' job is way more intriguing because no matter if you keep the core four or you split it up and you use those guys to get some more pieces around Donovan in the center that you keep, or whatever combination it is, there's still the ability to contend. You saw what this team did against Boston, as tough as they have been, just rolling through everybody. Boy, there were, game 4 and game 5, you saw what the Cavs could do, and you just felt like they just couldn't get over that hump because they didn't have all of the weapons they needed to. So if this next coach can find a way to, his plan is for the core four to stay together, or like I see this plan with these three, if we can use this guy maybe to get this type of player on the wing, this type of shooter, that's what I'm looking for. We can take our offense to another level, the level that we saw when they won 18 to 20 games before the All-Star break. That's what they're going to have to find. We have to hope that these names that we do know of but don't know enough about as head coaches can get the job done. But I think it's time to talk about a team that's actually been pretty strong all season long. Like, now we're past the 2-month mark. Let's talk about guards on the other side. They're in the Ohio Cup right now. The last check I had was 1-1. I don't know what it is. Jay, you have 2 phones, like Kevin Gates, the rapper, who made the song 2 Phones.
No, yeah. One can make calls. The other one is just an old phone that's hooked to the Wi-Fi. So I ain't no baller.
Keep an eye on that score, and we should probably keep our eye out for the Monsters as well. They're in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. They were down 3-0. We'll keep an eye on that score as well. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play and Be On Air Podcast Networks.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land. Before we get into our Guardians talk, as we kind of tease going into the break, I do want to take a second to send our prayers, our condolences to the NBA family, to the West family, to basketball fans everywhere, to his friends, his teammates, his colleagues, executives that he got the chance to work alongside. The logo, unfortunately, Mr. Clutch passed away today. Jerry West at the age of 86. This is a guy that, boy oh boy, one of the pioneers of the sport. Things that he was doing at that time in a great era of basketball. I know that there wasn't as much competition. There wasn't as many teams that were high atop and had a chance to win a championship at that time. But Jerry West is one of the absolute best. There's a reason why the NBA made his silhouette the logo for what he could do on a basketball floor, what he brought to the game of basketball when he was playing, and then as an executive, like how great he was at putting teams together. And he was a piece of, as much as we didn't like him at the time, the success that Golden State had, Jerry West was definitely had a hand in that as well. So I wanted to send condolences on behalf of the show, prayers to everyone who knew, family, friends, teammates, colleagues, the entire NBA universe today. As you know, it was sad to see Jerry West pass away. Was shown a lot of black and white videos of him and Moses Malone and so many of those other greats of yesteryear. My dad showed me that to teach me the history of the game of basketball, built my love of the game of basketball, and Jerry West was definitely one of my favorites to always watch highlights of when I could. Jay, boy, tough news to take today.
Yeah, he's one of the GOATs, man. Like, could you just imagine if there was a 3-point line when he played, he'd have like unreal more points. He's a legend, man. He's a legend. Like, you could see how many NBA guys have reached out and said, wow, we lost a guy that was a huge mentor to me, and he'll be missed. He'll be missed. Like, his impact on the game is up there with probably the top 3.
And you think about it, like, very recently, Jerry West was in Cleveland for the 75 top NBA players for the 75th anniversary of the league. When the All-Star game was here, we had the top 50, then we got the top 75, those 2 All-Star games. And last year when the Browns went out to LA, he came and talked to him and, had conversations. Myles Garrett talked about it at practice today. We'll get into the Browns a little later, but, it seemed like, and, we'd seen Jerry West.
I'll put it this way. When Jerry West walks into a room, Michael Jordan shuts up.
Yes. He had very kind and, heartwarming yet heart-wrenching words about Jerry West. LeBron as well. LeBron always had conversations with him. Like, to think, Jerry West and Bill Russell are gone from this world. Boy, oh boy, God is building. I know some people may not believe in that, but God is building a super team up in heaven, that's for sure. With Jerry and Bill and so many of the greats that we have unfortunately lost over time. And, as we get older,
man,
unfortunately, we'll have to talk about
Walton, West, and Kobe on a team would be unreal.
Yes, Kobe, Jerry, Bill. And look at Bill Walton just passed away as well. Another really, really good player, was hampered with injuries, but one of the better college basketball players of all time as well during those great.
One of the greatest personalities of all time.
Yeah.
Not just sports, just the person he was. He was just a big old kind, gentle soul. And how could anyone dislike that dude? Like, he was just so lovable.
Yes. I know it became a joke of like the crazy stuff he would do during broadcasts, but look, like, whoever he was working alongside, they would play it up pretty well. But you hear them talk, and Dave Pasch and some of the other people that have worked alongside him, like the heartwarming things that they had to say about Bill and what Bill meant to them and how much Bill was family to them. We've lost a lot of the greats, and today we lost Jerry West. So our prayers out to everyone involved and connected to Jerry West. And May he rest in heaven. Never easy transition when you come out of that, but we couldn't do a show without talking about that. But on the lighter side of things, the reason why we love sports is it's an escape from some of those when life hits you with the reality check and right smack dab in the middle of your face. The Guardians are that bright light here, that escape for us here. There were 21 games over 500 coming into the night against the Reds after winning last night. Different guys doing it different nights. I know a lot of people questioned Tyler Freeman being in center. He made plays that some guys don't ever get a chance to make out in center.
Back to back. He's
hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position. Like, yes, I know his batting average is, like what we used to see when you go to a game and you look up, there's guys that are below the Mendoza line. He's kind of right there around the Mendoza line. But when it matters most, guys that are struggling in general, Bo Naylor, Tyler Freeman, David Fry has been a great revelation this year. Those guys adding to Josh Naylor and Jose Ramirez, their offense just keeps finding ways to win, whether it's close or they're able to score a lot of runs.
Here, I got something for you.
Yeah.
Steven Kwan for MVP. That man is batting .385, coming back from his injury, and he didn't just pick up. It's like he got better.
Yeah.
It is unreal what this dude, and we always talk about, like, this is a different era. Guys ain't hitting over 300 a whole lot. He's nearly hitting 400, Kevin. That is insane what he is doing right now. Like, not only should he be an all-star, he should be starting to get consideration for the MVP alongside Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. And I mean, I know he kind of fell off a little bit, but been picking up recently. Josh Naylor. I mean, that's another name that.
What does Steven Kwan do tonight? Oh, he's already got 2 more hits tonight. Of course, the dude has more 3-hit games than he has 0-hit games. It's wild.
He's an old school baseball player in the new era, and that's one guy that has impacted from not a better voice, but just that change of the guard, the change of the voice of the Guardians in Stephen Vogt from a Hall of Famer in Terry Francona. Steven Kwan has taken what Vogt has said, and he hasn't really said much yet. He hasn't changed much. He just said, guys, we got to be more aggressive earlier in counts. And I know that Terry Francona was probably on that as well. It's just health-wise and things like that. Terry needed to take a break, and Stephen Vogt has just used that culture, infused some of the new era of baseball. And it's not Steven Kwan is seeing a bunch of pitches and getting to 3-2. Like, he didn't strike out for like the longest time in his rookie season, but he's made adjustments. And yeah, you're going to strike out sometimes in baseball, but if you're aggressive and a guy that can, he likes contact, he likes to, use the speed on the base.
You know who he reminds me of hitting? Tony Gwynn. He can hit anything, dude. It don't matter. He's down 2. He's ahead of the count. He's as calm as he can be, and his approach is the same, and he makes contact and puts the ball where it needs to be, all over the field. I like Tony Gwynn. To me, I think is one of the most pure best hitters of all time, too.
Yeah, and now, I mean, to put him in that category, that's that's a huge coup to Steven Kwan and what he has done. Now, Kwan is going to have to do it for a long stretch like Tony Gwynn did over his career. But you see the baseball IQ, how he's been able to adjust. And, Stephen Vogt may have just made that general statement to the team, like, we got to be more aggressive in counts and up there at the plate. Like, if you get something early, let's take advantage of it. Don't let the pitcher settle in. Something that simple. Well, Kwan has taken that to heart, and he has found a way to infuse that into his game. Again, a guy that is, just tries to get on. He might hit a bunch of singles, but he's hit for power. He's hit a few home runs, but it's the doubles as well. We mention this every single time. Power doesn't always equal home runs. Power is, you're hitting the ball off the wall and it's making a sound. It's, the way it comes off your bat. You feel like it's going to go out. It may hit the top of the wall, but you're putting that fear into the pitcher. Like, these guys are taking me to all parts of the ballpark. What am I supposed to do? Now, as a pitcher, you don't want to be thinking the whole time, because you think you're overthinking which pitch you should be throwing here and there, and you get yourself out of rhythm. I think it was really good to see McKenzie have a strong start last night. He's been piecing some things together. If Bibee can stay, as kind of been in the ace spot for this team, kind of been the best pitcher. Him, Ben Lively.
I would go Ben Lively right now.
I would say Ben Lively is like a solid number 2 on this team. Like, if you're
what a pickup! Like, out of nowhere, dude. Just like, the Guardians picked up Ben Lively. We're like, oh, who's this dude? And he's just been in
last shot.
Amazing for us.
Last shot.
Yeah, awesome pickup.
It shows you the culture that's been built here, like why pitching has been such a strong piece of Cleveland baseball success since Terry
took the lead 2-1 Guardians. Sorry, Jimenez, RBI. Jimenez, sorry.
Yeah, you don't say the G.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible. I'm the worst.
I mean, even Andres, like, there's moments where he's coming through, and he's probably in a stretch right now where he's not feeling it as much at the plate. But look, it's different guys, different nights, and that's what is so fun about this team. And yeah, they're in first place, and you have to keep an eye on the Royals, but we're in June. Like, right now is still a good time to focus on our team. If you want a scoreboard watch, that's fine. Look, we still got half of June to go. July, All-Star break, rest of July, August, September. I'm not saying that this team can't continue this. What I'm saying is, right now is a good time to just focus on what we're doing, and that's what this team is doing. That's what Vogt has them doing. They're not scoreboard watching. They're not
to break that focus. Just let you know the Yankees are up 2-0
on the Royals.
Yeah, the Royals do have runners on the corners with
1 out.
Oh, no runners on, 1 out. Bobby Witt's up. That Bobby Witt Jr. is an amazing ball player, man. Wow, yeah. Is he good? I appreciate talent. I always will. I hope when he plays us, he sucks. But I like watching him play baseball, even though he made that horrible error pretty much to help us win. So kind of helped me not hate him so much ever.
I heard some people explaining that too. Like, it's not to give Bobby Witt an excuse. Like, you still got to make a good throw. Guys are going to be sliding into the bag. You got to make a play. Somehow he doesn't step on the bag, number one. And when he throws it, he just throws it way over the first baseman's head. And then it allows 3 guys to score in that moment. That's a anomaly in what Bobby Witt Jr. can do. And look, Kansas City is in the same boat as us. Minnesota's in the same boat as us. Like, if you have a window to contend, you have to find a way to rebuild yet reload at the same time and get younger guys to play. And Kansas City loaded up on young guys. Minnesota's loaded up on young guys. Detroit, while they've been, they're kind of right around that 500 mark, they have some young players that they're trying to get into the system.
They got good young pitching. They just need to get some offense, and they could be trouble too.
Yes. So, like, this division is taking a turn back to one of the better divisions in baseball, and it's not going to be like whoever wins this division this year, you're going to earn it. It's not going to be people are just saying like, oh, well, you beat a bad division.
Well, they got in the playoffs because they're in the Central, and yeah. I think it's good. I think that'll be good for the Guardians. That when you play a bunch of easy guys all the time, it's not going to help you get any better.
No.
Playing better competition will help you get better.
Yes.
So,
they're playing better against good teams when they face them, and even, good teams in hostile environments. The next big test will be going to Toronto. That's always a tough place to play in Rogers Center. So Try to get this one tonight. You secured the Ohio Cup for another season. Whether you care about it or not, they would secure that, and you move on to the next. They get a day off tomorrow, and you're right back at it. So there's tough games coming. The more battle tested this team is, the better off they will be to handle those situations and be battle tested. Hopefully making a playoff run in 2024, but we shall see on that. I guess we do need to talk a little. I see the Jurassic Park sign behind Jay. There's a guy that loves dinosaurs on the Browns. So I think we should talk a little Browns with minicamp going on before they go on their summer vacation. We'll probably take the summer vacation with them, not doing the show, but not talking about them very much over the next 6 weeks until training camp comes. But some stuff to talk about with the Browns. We'll talk about them. And Jay and I could have had a really interesting debate last week. Will we get into that tonight? Well, we'll see, because we're way over time for this segment, so we may have to cut everything. We will.
I'm sure that debate will be going on again next week, Kevin.
We'll be right back on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play and Be On Air Podcast Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that is partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
The main team in town that everybody likes to talk about, and seems that there's always a conversation surrounding them, whether they're good or they are bad. As Lincoln leaves the room, we will talk about the Cleveland Browns one more time before they go on their summer vacation, and we take a little bit of break of talking about them. But look, the main storyline coming out of minicamp is that Amari Cooper is not there. He is protesting. That's what everybody is saying.
Oh no!
Confirmed, but protesting, wanting a new deal and wanting a longer contract, more security, because he is at the 30 years old mark, and wide receivers are getting paid this offseason in the NFL. Big deal or no deal that Cooper has been missing minicamp, Jay?
No deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all. It happens. This happens with there's always something like this happens every single year. And what eventually happens is they work something out. I mean, if they could work out what happened with Njoku, which was a lot more hostile situation, I think, Aaron Drew Berry would do just fine. I think people are most of the time just need kind of a story, and I think they're kind of happy that this happened, if I'm being honest, because they need something to talk about. I think it's not that much to talk about. Not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't.
And then I hear what's the bigger deal? Him being held out or Jerry Jeudy not practicing because he's hurt?
Look,
neither.
Look, I know that Jeudy is coming to a new team. He's trying to refresh his career, reset his career. And the Browns see something in him. They think that what they can do for him, for his career, especially to, I think he signed a contract this offseason with the Browns for a little bit more security before he's done anything in the field. I know when you're installing a new offense, everybody, and especially the old guard of football fans, football talking heads, and I don't say that in a bad way. I know people use that in a negative light. Like, people that know football way more, they'll forget more than I'll ever know about the American football game. And I'll forget more of the European football than they will ever know. That's beside the point. When people are talking about this, they think, this is these hard two-a-days and guys can't get water. They can't get refreshment. They need to be in, no matter if it's, especially if it's a minor injury that we're just being cautious about. They should be out there. They should be learning all of this. They shouldn't be just standing on the side. Look, that's not going to matter. I mean, the Browns had a really short practice today. Day 2 of minicamp. Like, we were told that they were going to do a walkthrough in day 3, and that one was going to be short. So they went short on day 2. The NFL, they see it more as OTAs now. Like, but it's just mandatory. It's just made mandatory. For Cooper, I don't think it's a big deal because, we've seen the type of person that Cooper is, and I think
he's one of their best route runners in the NFL. Like, if he's not here learning, he already probably knows it. And he's going to run the routes just fine. He's Amari Cooper. He's that good. I don't know. If you're good, you're good. You're going to be good. That's just how it is. Like,
yeah.
I get kind of annoyed with it, Kevin, to be honest with you.
I mean, I do too. The only reason why I hesitate when I say I don't think it's a big deal or any sort of deal right now with minicamp and them taking like 6 weeks off and still plenty of time for Cooper, his agent, and Andrew Berry to get together or talk on the phone, negotiate something so he's ready to go for training camp. The reason why I hesitate is because of who Cooper is, like very quiet, reserved, but a big-time leader. Helps the younger receivers because he knows how to run routes. Like, it's leadership that we don't get to see because it's not like, the Browns are on Hard Knocks every single year, so we're getting that deep behind the scenes. They do a great job with their behind the scenes, do the Browns, probably better than some of the stuff that comes out on Hard Knocks, and better camera angles, better editing, all of that kind of stuff. But still, you're not getting the full story, and Cooper's not one to put himself or be anywhere around a camera because he just keeps to himself. So I think it's surprising coming from him to a lot of people. But this is, when a team is good and, Cooper wants some security, but he wants some security by staying here in Cleveland. This is what happens when your team is now becoming good. You have to find ways to piece your team together when you're paying a quarterback a lot of money and you have some other guys on big time money contracts, big hits against your cap, Jay. Like, this is the type of stuff that happens. You just don't want to see it trickle through this summer break. And when we come back to training camp, there's still this issue, because then the more that time went on, conversations happened, sides weren't happy about it. Now it turns from, look, I'm just doing this to make a point that I want a longer deal, but I think that we can work this out, just staying away from something that probably doesn't matter anyways, to disgruntled issues. Is he really focused when he does come back to the team because he still has a year on his contract? He will play for the Browns this season. Like, where is his head at during all of that? That's when those questions start to rise. So for right now, it's not really any sort of deal. It's not like upsetting to me. But it's something where keep in the back of your head, kind of keeping a side eye on it and see what happens over this summer break and see if we get any update on contract negotiations with Cooper.
Yeah, like, if he comes into training camp, talk to me then, ask me if I'm worried. And the other part of this is he's doing it for money, and all players are always going to respect that. They're like, hey, that's part of the business, and they're not going to get into your wallet. Now, if you're doing what that dude in New York named Aaron Rodgers is doing, then you're causing a problem, I think, in the locker room, especially when you give a rah-rah speech like, oh, next year we got to be focused and we got to be locked down if we want to be great and blah, blah, blah. And then you go, oh, I won't be there because I just won't be there for this week. And he just doesn't even really give a reason. Like, that dude's nuts, Kevin. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's crazy. And he doesn't belong on it in the NFL anymore. I think he's a joke.
There's a lot that if I was a fan of the Jets, I would take issue with Aaron Rodgers. And, it's kind of nice to see it from the outside of a team that's dealing with dysfunctional quarterback and players on the team that are just there to either get paid or whatever. There's a lot I could take issue with Aaron Rodgers. I actually take the opposite side here. And this isn't like we need to go in any sort of debate because it's the Jets. It's not the team we root for. But look, I mean, they're only doing a 2-day mini camp. Whether he's going on an ayahuasca trip again or whatever, like if he thinks that that's more important that he scheduled before he knew, and I put he knew in air quotes for those just listening to the audio, he knew when the Jets workouts were going to be, whatever. But like, again, I've heard from a lot of NFL people and they've really chimed in, especially as conversations started about the NFL expanding to 18 games and different off-season structure with workouts, like a longer training camp. Everybody sees these mandatory mini camps as extensions of OTAs, like those little things, installation, walkthroughs. You're definitely not hitting each other. You're not getting that out of it. It's more the mental side of the game. Aaron Rodgers has been around the game long enough if you believe Robert Saleh, he was at all the other OTA workouts. These are just 2 that he's missing. Like, he's smart enough. He knows the playbook. He's seen it. He's been around the team for at least a year. If he's going to have success, he's going to have success because he's Aaron Rodgers and knows how to dissect defenses and get the most out of players around him. If he doesn't have success, I don't think it's because of this. It's because of some other crazy thing that comes up and weird conspiracy theory that he talks about. That's just my 2 cents. It doesn't really matter because, again, we're not fans of him. I don't see this as like the thing I would take a bigger issue with Aaron Rodgers. There is
my issue is him giving the rah-rah speech to his team at the end of the year and like saying they have to buckle down. We have to buckle, like what he said, and then doing the opposite. That doesn't show leadership. That makes you like your words are meaningless. Now, if he goes out and they don't give a shit, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And he throws 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And they're like, dude, I don't care. You can take all the mushrooms you want and trip on whatever and stay in the woods and go in dark retreats. As long as you're playing football that's how they see it, fine. Me, I am not. That dude ain't leading me. I'm like, man, you told me this thing. I showed up. I'm here busting my hump. And you want to just do whatever you want. Like, just show up. I don't even care if you don't do anything. Just show up.
I mean,
that's just how I see it. And this is something it's cool we see difference in, but it might not make a big deal. I could be totally blowing this out of proportion too. I just thought it was rude to his team.
How open really was he with the team that he wasn't going to be there? Like, how many people knew ahead of time that these 2 days he wasn't going to be there for when he was there and everything else? Like, that's on him as a leader and as the quarterback of the team to make sure he communicates, and he didn't communicate it to everybody. And there are disgruntled teammates. Look, you're going to have to deal with that and figure that out. That's on you, Aaron. But, again, if you ask me if I would rather take Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson as my quarterback, I'll probably go on Brett Michaels right now for, just based on haven't gotten the performance out of Watson. And I don't want Rodgers anywhere near my culture, my team, anything like that. Like, I would choose the RBS of ESPN Cleveland route of some, just choose a random name. Like, I'm not picking between the two. But we hope that Deshaun Watson makes the case and proves why he's supposed to be the guy here in Cleveland, and hopefully the culture that Kevin Stefanski and this organization has built by them getting extensions with him and Barry. We hope that kind of feeds through the team again, and we take bigger steps here in 2024. Well, come time for one final segment. On the other side, what direction do we go? Do Jay and I get into an actual debate, or do we just have some fun with Father's Day coming up over the weekend? We shall see. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play and Be On Air podcast networks.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Welcome back one final time on this Wednesday night here on the Voice of the Land live. We go live every single Wednesday at 8. I know we've had some weeks off, some things that happen. Look, it's summertime. Family stuff comes up. We all know how that is. So we are going to try to, and even when Jay goes off for his honeymoon at some point this summer, we will still try to keep this thing rolling.
Oh, I'm going remote. You're going to see me. Even if it's for like a segment, I'm coming in.
I'm not going to let you.
You can't stop me.
I mean, I can't stop you, but
only Peter can. Hey, I wasn't going there, Peter. I'm just letting you know. Kevin can. You can. But I don't mess with all powerful AI systems like Peter.
Well, then I will make sure that Peter does what Peter does.
I got more money to bribe him with than you do because you got kid. I have no kid. I'll bribe him.
But Peter knows what it's like to have kids, what I'm going through right now, so we kind of connect on a different level.
Sure.
That
you're not going to win this. Aside, you talking about family stuff. You got your first Father's Day coming up here, Kevin, right?
No, it was my second.
Oh, it is your second. That's right.
Yes.
So what do you what? Yeah. Whatever. What are you guys doing for Father's Day?
We haven't really figured that out yet. As people may know, if you watched last week.
What do you mean we? Who's we?
What?
Who's we?
Well, if people watch,
it's Father's Day, right?
Hold on.
I'm just saying, man. It's your day. You could do whatever you want to do.
Honestly, on Father's Day, I just want to be with my family. I know people thought that we were going to have like this big debate after what happened last week and me just blowing up the Twitter chat last week and with Caitlin Clark. Like, I'm over the Caitlin Clark discussion. To be honest with you, Jay, I'm not over Caitlin Clark, the player, the person. I'm over the conversation because I think it's a detriment to her and all the ladies in the WNBA of what they're trying to build and take advantage of all the eyes being on them with Caitlin Clark in this rookie class coming in this year. Caitlin doesn't say anything. She says, she responds the right way when asked about things. I think it's more of a detriment to her, and we're acting like she's some sort of problem when the problem is just fanatic fans that can't handle. She just got to the WNBA. She doesn't need to be in the Olympics yet. She's got plenty of time. She knows that. Like, all of that done, over with, 2 minutes, that's all we're spending on it. The fun topic, as we always like to finish the show with, though, like we talked about Father's Day, I don't know what we're doing. Now, Saturday night, we are going to the captain's game as Lincoln will be honored. Don't know if you've ever heard of, Peter, maybe you have heard of this, the Imagination Library. It is a program that Dolly Parton has set up when you are signed up for the Imagination Library. Each month you get like a new book to your house for the kids that are signed up, kind of based on their age and all of that stuff. So the captains are doing a great event on Saturday night at the baseball game. They are honoring kids in Lake County that have been a part and are members of the Imagination Library. So kind of focusing just here on Lake County. There's plenty of people in Northeast Ohio in general, America, all over the place that are part of this Imagination Library, helping to extend the education process beyond the walls and structure of the education system. So before the game, Lincoln, who has started walking, you guys have seen on social media, he has started walking. He will get a chance to walk on the field and be honored by everybody that's in attendance. We'll have plenty of family there. He will be one of many kids and families that will be honored at the game. So that's going to be a great moment. That's like, I feel like, I don't know, Peter, you might say the same thing, but those are the kind of moments that mean more than stuff that's for me. I've never really made moments for me. And that's not the type of person I am. I've tried to be better with the industry I'm trying to get into, but still, it matters way more, the spotlight on Lincoln, than it does anything that I do or Father's Day, like I give more credit to Jana. I give a lot of, I love watching Lincoln grow and develop, and we'll have more.
No, I totally give more credit to Jana, but Father's Day is your day. That's all I'm saying. You can do whatever you want, and if that involves you just enjoying with the day with your family, that's what you want. That's what you get to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been on the go every weekend since basically vacation time, if not before that. I'd love to just have a day at home. Maybe we go for a walk if it's nice outside, or if it's warm, we go in our pool that we just got set up. Like just family time, and then at night we go see Lincoln's great grandpa, my grandfather, who's 97, World War II veteran. Like, we don't see him as often as we probably should with our busy schedules, but I would love to spend some time with him as well and allow him to spend some time with his great grandson.
How about you, Peter? What are you doing for Father's Day?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm probably going to go out to eat somewhere, get some ribs. That's my thing. I like spending time with the kids. We're doing a bunch of stuff. We've been doing a lot of college visits recently, so that's what Saturday's going to be. So Sunday's probably going to be recovering from being in the car probably the entire day. So I'm just going to take it easy, hang out with the kids, and go get some good food somewhere.
Nice.
Do you have any plans, Jay, to
I was waiting for you to ask. Waiting for you to ask. No, I'm going fishing with my dad in the morning if weather's permitting and the lake's not more than 3-foot waves. That'd be nice. If it could be a nice calm lake early in the morning, go walleye fishing. Then we're probably just going to cruise around in the boat, be honest, for a while, he said. And then probably just take him out to dinner after that, to be honest. Where, I have no idea. It's whatever he wants to eat, probably a steak place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll get some lunch as well. Like, again, I think even though this is my second Father's Day, I still don't think I have fully been enveloped in dad mode and becoming a dad. Like, that is all set in a long time ago. But like Father's Day, like I still feel like the kid that's getting the card for my dad, my grandpa, for those types of things. Like, when it comes to that day, like I don't see myself, I don't know, being one of the people who are celebrated that day.
It's your day. It is for you to be celebrated. It's I'm not a dad. That's why I celebrate my dad. So I'm speaking as from this point. Is I see it as dads don't get, like what you're saying, you're literally emphasizing what I'm about to say. Dads don't get a lot of credit, nor do they want any credit. They don't need any credit. This is the one day of the year that their family gets to really show you how much not that they don't show you, every year, but this is like your day of appreciation for being a dad and just doing what you're supposed to do all the time. The same thing with like moms, I think, are very underappreciated. And that's why Mother's Day is like the ultimate day of appreciation for mom. And you gotta view it. You gotta let them do that. You know what I'm saying? For them, yeah. It's nice. It's good to give. It's a good feeling when you give someone, even if it's your time or a gift. You know what I mean? Time being far more valuable. So
yeah, I mean,
always just accept it as. You know what I mean? Is being grateful for everything, and I know you are.
I'm definitely grateful. I'm also very hypocritical. Like I don't need to me, I don't need a day or I don't need like any credit or spotlight on me. Like even like as you should kind of show how much your parental figures matter to you on a daily basis, and not just wait for that one day or. Even when we have certain celebrations each month throughout the year, like Black History Month and Asian Pacific Heritage Month, like we should be taking that stuff in every day. From like Mother's Day, like yes, I know it's the ultimate day to show your appreciation. You should do that every day to your wife, to your girlfriend, to your significant other, to your parents, family, friends, the people that mean a lot to you. Like you should do that every day. And I'm so hypocritical that like I don't want that every day, or like even even for one day. Like I want focus.
That's just not realistic. Well, life's too so busy. There's just days you probably by the end of the day you're so exhausted. You're like, all right, love you, babe. Good night. You know what I'm saying? Like it's life comes at you fast. Things get away from you. And Mother's Day and Father's Day are always there to remind you, slow down, appreciate your parents.
Well, while I close out the show, Jay, if you could try to see on your phone if you can find score of the Monsters game real quick, because I do want to.
Good luck. I can't find that score for anything. I looked all over ESPN's app and I can't find. Son of a Reds are winning 4-2.
Look. It's baseball. We're gonna win some. We're gonna lose some. It is
bottom of the sixth. So there's still plenty of time. This team don't quit.
This team outscores a lot of other teams from the seventh inning on. So we'll see if they can come back in this one. Yeah, 3-run home run on the bottom of the sixth. Not maybe if Bibey's still pitching, maybe in there for one too many hitters.
There's a big bet between Matt Fontana and the guys from the Bangalorean and the Cincinnati show we have, and I think they have to hit 3 home runs and Cincinnati wins for them to win their bet. I don't want Cincinnati to win anything this game. Their bets, I don't care. Screw you, Cincinnati, and your crappy chili.
There's a lot with that kind of stuff that we don't touch on the show. We're not getting into on the show. But if you have internet, Jay, if you can look up maybe the Monsters website while I do close out the show, I do want to send a very special Happy Father's Day on behalf of Voice of the Land to all the dads, the grandpas, the father figures. Maybe you're an older brother that's taken on that type of role for your younger siblings. We know everybody's in different circumstances. Some people dealing with even more difficult stuff than others. But any father figure, anybody seen as a father-like figure, even some women are seen as kind of that. They have to play the role of mom and dad. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there on behalf of us here at Voice of the Land. It is a special day. And hopefully everyone gets a chance to spend great time with family. Janet did come back with she actually found the score. Hershey is winning 2-1.
2-1 at the end of the second. I just finally got it.
Yeah. Heading to the third period. Now, Monsters were down with 50 seconds to go. They were down 2-1 in game 6. They found the equalizer and then won in overtime in Hershey, PA. They were up against it. They were down 3-0. Look, I mean that's the nature of a Cleveland team. So, hopefully the Monsters can come back. If not, it's been a heck of a season, and some young players to the future for Columbus, and hopefully maybe in the NHL, the Blue Jackets can find that success as well as some of these young players move up to the main squad. That is going to wrap it up though for this edition of the Voice of the Land. For Always Positive Jay, for Peter Tulip, our producer extraordinaire, I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you sports fans, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all, everyone in the world, whether you watch us, listen to us or not. We love everyone 3,000. Jay.
I'll see you in Aruba because I don't talk about it. I'll be about it.
And as our great late friend Mike Allen always used to say, live life, all gas, no brakes. One final rest in peace, rest in heaven to Jerry West, and condolences and prayers to the entire NBA and Jerry West community. We'll see you next time right here on the Voice of the Land on the Big Play and Be On Air Podcast Network.